just watch the snaking action as all the horsepower comes down. And number 6, Paul Jones in the Monza, picks up a cog and runs with it to the top of the hill. Mike Griffin moving up very smartly indeed in the second of the Monzas, and Jeff Russell dropping back into third. Look at these two Monzas straight down into Dunlop Loop, and they've got Jeff Russell pretty close to them. Stevens made an electric start. I think has already passed about 10 cars in the pack. Roaring V8s at Amaroo Park. Mascot galvanising front air dam is hanging down there on one of the cars. Keep in mind they were running so close in an earlier heat this morning. One had a spill. Here comes Russell down on the inside. There's barely enough room there. Well, there wasn't actually. Moved his mate over off onto the dry stuff. That won't keep Paul Jones very happy, but he backed off, or he had to back off out of that, and Russell has now advanced into second place. Griffin in the yellow Monza is the race leader. Russell in second place. Then back to Paul Jones in third place.
Look at this dice for fourth between Burke and Dane. Burke in the Celica, Dane in that little Escort.
That's crafting, as they like to say.
Ton of power there.
We'll pick it up later for you in this race. The back marker, Bob Stevens, absolutely flying through the field. Russell still in second place. Paul Jones in third, and here comes Stevens down on the inside in that white Monaro who started dead last. Griffin, the race leader, comes down the back side of the course, really working the engine.
Stevens is up into about fifth place. That's almost impossible.
Russell down through the gears, but Griffin not making a mistake now. Look at him run down the short straight to the right-hander at Winfield. Comes down through the right-hander on the brakes. Gives it a big squirt, takes it out near the wall. Russell doing about the same. Then back to Paul Jones. Oh, that Escort just almost kissing the concrete as they came out of that corner.
Griffin, wasn't it, that ran that little Datsun with a rotary engine in it? It used to really fly.
It was quite a handful, and I think he's found this also to be a handful as well.
This is just as big. Oh, yeah, scraping the ground there. The spoiler at the front really has taken a bit of a buckling.
Here comes Dane through in the Escort. That's running like a house on fire. Using all of the racetrack, though, to get these line, and Stephen is back just behind him. So Stephen has come from position number 25 in the field and is now up into about 5th or 6th place.
There he goes, just disappearing off the left of the screen, or right of the screen rather. The Escort goes through Honda and sets out in pursuit of the leading division. But the leading division, the top 4 cars have got a break. Griffin at the head of the field.
Griffin is still the race leader in car number 41, the yellow Chevrolet Monza. Russell has started to haul him in for the last couple of laps. Moves up fairly close to him. There they go up one side of the track, and they, of course, come back down the other. Russell into second place. Jones, of course, who was the pole sitter, back into third spot. Russell getting quite adventurous there, using to the outside of the course. Here he comes storming back behind Griffin, down the back part of the racetrack towards Mazda Corner.
And John Burke in the what used to be a Celica, having now shaken off Stephen Land, or Peter Dane rather. Oh, hello. Car 36 has
in the rough
come to grief. That's Keith Nightingale in Tirana.
He's got a slight problem there.
Uphill, wet ground, and a hump there just off the side of the track.
Here we have the real stinger. It's up front. Griffin getting a little sideways that time. Russell has closed up very close to him as the two of them race past the start-finishing line up Venture Cave Hill. Griffin can pull a car length going up there, but Russell closes up just as they drop down into Dunlop Loop. Russell working right to the outside and is thinking about perhaps an inside. No, he didn't.
Outside
straight past him. Right around the outside.
He's done it.
And beautiful pass. You don't see that done too often here at Amaroo Park. That's caught Griffin a little unawares, whether that front air dam is dragging on the ground and not causing him some problems. But Russell, just as though he's turned the turbocharger up and run away. Griffin now starts to get back into his second breath, goes back after the race leader. He's not going to throw this one away. Back into third place is Paul Jones in the third Chevrolet Monza, racing down to Winfield Corner, down through the gears. Boy, are these cars a handful coming through this corner. Griffin has closed up again. You can see in that yellow Monza. Up now to Ron Hodson Corner, the right-hander. Camalco turn, and now along straight here at Amaroo Park, heading up Venture Cave Hill, and look at Griffin. He's closed up that gap again. Russell caught him in this part of the track the last lap around, ran away for him for about 50 or 60 metres, but Griffin's back on the job again.
4.5 laps to go now, and they've got a fairly good break now over Paul Jones and the second of the Monzas, holding down third place. It's still Russell in front, Griffin right there, waiting for an opportunity to get back again. Jones well back in third place, and John Burke in the Salika fourth. And Bob Stevens, who Mike remarked had come from the rear of the field, is still making up ground, but in fifth place and a fair way from these two front runners. Going down into Winfield once more. Watch how close they get to the wall around here. Not Griffin, though. He's taking a very tidy line, I must say. And as they come round to the start-finish line, they've been given 4 laps to run. Griffin again in pursuit. He will not let go. Got his teeth in. Reluctantly gave up the lead 2 laps back to Russell and is desperate to recapture it.
Russell taking good advantage of how he's angling that corner, going out very wide and cutting through it nice. He's got oodles of horsepower there to play with. That sort of unsettled Griffin a little bit. He doesn't know how to attempt to take an inside line there. Russell a little skatey there in the rear end as they come down to the left-hander at Honda. And they come out of this corner running all the way to the floor, down to the right-hander at Winfield. Coming up on some slower cars, so this could give Griffin the advantage he wants, but he'll have to play all his cards in the right order. No, he's got troubles.
Yep,
I think it jumped out of gear that time.
And whilst they're running into traffic about 100 metres behind them, there's a real tussle going on now for third spot in the race between Jones and John Burke in the Salika. Yes, he's run his race, I think, Mike.
Yes, he looks so strong there early. Can't tell that to Russell, though.
No, Russell,
he's still starting to extend his lead.
You stand in front of him, you'll get mown down, I tell you.
Well, there's a mini. They're getting the short back and sides. Moves out of the way as they come down to Mazda corner.
That's Keith Nightingale that you can see on screen at the moment, the man that had the misadventure a few laps back. He's obviously back on the track and running again. Russell certainly running. Boy, has not paused for breath since the starter dropped the flag.
He's driven a copybook race. Comes down here through this corner, uses the full width of the turn, pretty good shape, gets out of there and runs away again. Extending his lead all the time now is Russell.
John Burke Salika is now in third place, having taken Paul Jones, and right on Paul Jones' hammer now in fifth place is Bob Stevens. But there he is, there's Stevens in that white car with the wing on the back and really applying the pressure.
Oh, I see.
Hello, small barbecue going over there. It's not Ron Dixon.
No, he has a slight problem. As you can see, the interior of the car has caught a light and he's let the extinguisher off in his face. But he's managed to get the right side up. The marshal at the front is okay. So all the drama unfolding in the final laps of the Sports Sedan race there. That's given it one good burst.
Coming down to the Winfield, our race leader. Car number 2, Jeff Russell, Tirana. If I'm not mistaken, I think the last lap board is about to go out for him. There he is, coming around onto the main straightaway. Out goes the last lap board for Jeff Russell. Mike Griffin also goes through, but is tailing now by about 80 metres.
Well, again, he uses that very wide approach to the corner. But he gets out of there. He hasn't. That pass he pulled on Griffin early was probably the pass of the day so far. Russell works away, coming down the back straight. No opposition now. Griffin was there challenging for a while, but that didn't eventuate in the closing stages of this race.
How unfortunate it was that Bob Stevens didn't qualify higher on the grid. Could have made a real race of it, you know.
Yep.
Not to be. Jeff Russell's doing a superb race. He really has kept the car under tight control all day. And whilst he's taken some wide lines, he knew what he was about. And it's certainly got him well out in front. And here he comes round now to take the checkered flag. Jeff Russell, Tirana, big winner in the Sports Sedan event here today at Amaroo Park. Second place in going to Mike Griffin. And coming through, you'll find in third spot is the Salika.